Good afternoon. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to Marietta College Esports. I'm Matt Williamson.
And I'm Dylan Poles.
And we're so excited because it's been a long time. We've missed you guys. We hope you missed us. So we're finally back here. The semester has gone to full swing. It's mass hysteria. Dogs and cats are living together. It's that kind of stuff going on here. But we are ready to get underway with Marietta College Esports. So today we have our League of Legends team going up against the Milwaukee School of Engineering. And so this is not part of the Great Lakes Esports Conference. That will be tomorrow. So be sure to come back tomorrow at 4 o'clock. But this is part of Riot Games Collegiate League of Legends tournament. So for the next 6 weeks, we'll be playing against several schools all over the country. And really what's interesting about it is we have no idea who we're going to be going up against.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely luck of the draw at this point.
Yeah, so we'll find out, I think, like Sunday or Monday of who the opponent for next week will be. But it's just going to be, it's very similar to the Great Lakes Esports Conference. It'll be best out of 3. We already have the lobby set up, so they may be starting it really soon. So we'll go ahead and get the starting lineup set up. I'm going to have Dylan do it because he's going to be... Actually, no, I take that back. We're going to go straight into Champion Select because they're already underway. We'll get the audio here. We'll get the starting lineup once they take care of the Champion Select. So Marietta is going to be on the red side and Milwaukee is going to be on the blue side. So it looks like they're Milwaukee's banning Misfortune. And Marietta has decided they do not want to play against Olaf. There we go. I think I had some audio issues earlier. That's one of the problems with streaming again for the first time in a couple of months. We got to get a couple of the cobwebs dusted, a couple of the bugs fixed. All right, so we will not see Diana or Caitlyn being played.
It's pretty good bans. You see Caitlyn get banned a good amount.
Caitlyn's a pretty popular AD carry right now in the current meta. And Jarvan's pretty stable. The Echo looks like it's probably a focus pick. And Milwaukee's prioritizing Senna. So she's one of the newer champions. She was originally supposed to be a support, but she turns out to be a much better AD carry than a support.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it just does a lot of damage.
Yeah, I see she's a very popular character.
And Marietta's going with a Tristana Nautilus combo. I'm pretty sure that's a bottom Nautilus, although I have seen Nautilus all over the place. In the World's Finals last year, Nautilus mid was a thing, and it worked very well.
Yeah, I mean...
But I'm pretty sure that's a support.
I guess we'll just have to see the rest of the picks here.
Yeah, so we see the Vi coming out. And for those of you who are wondering, like last semester, we used Pro Draft a lot for doing the champion picks and bans. And the reason why we're not doing that this time is for those who participate in Collegiate League of Legends, they do have their accounts unlocked. There's a feature called League Unlocked, which means you have access to all the champions. So for those who are participating in this, you don't need Pro Draft at all.
That's probably helpful to have them all unlocked because there sure is a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, it helps the fact that you can choose any champion you want and you can swap. You don't have to. You're not worried. You don't have to worry about the limitations of any player's champion pool for a particular role. The example I always give is, well, your support player is the last on your list, and you usually would save your mid laner champion for last. So if your support player has a very limited champion pool for mid lanes, well, then you're basically can only choose from what your support has.
Okay.
All right, so we see the Blitzcrank and the Zac coming out. So Blitz is
not a super popular.
He's not super popular, but he is something where if you're not careful, he will punish you with with his hooks.
I see Marietta comes out with the Zac pick.
Yeah, Nox has been playing a good amount of Zac, so that's a pretty good one. We see Mordekaiser being banned. He is super strong in the top lane right now, so it's expected. We see the Vladimir and the Jax being banned. Vladimir is another one of those that you just, if you go up against a really good Vladimir, you're in trouble. So they probably see something with either with what Milwaukee has, or they're just deciding we just don't want to go up against it all. And we see the Kled being banned, so now let's see what Marietta goes with next. They still got to pick their top lane and mid. I'm going to guess they're going to pick their top next, just so that way they can choose whatever they want for their mid. And we do see the Shen coming out. A very nice mid champion. I mean, with the teleport and with his ult, he's going to be able to go all over the place.
Yeah, all around. Good pick. So we still have one more pick, but what do you think Marietta is going to do here to like in terms of team composition? Just what do you think they're going to try to accomplish other than winning, of course?
Well, you have Nautilus and Shen as good frontliners. I mean, Tristana is a very hyper carry type champion. You definitely want to get her going. So I can it's not necessarily a protect the AD comp, but they're definitely kind of going with the standard, have some frontline tanks, and make sure Tristana's in the back to be able to do damage and try to protect her. And then you have the Zac who can actually peel people off if anyone tries to get to her. And we see that Milwaukee goes with Cassiopeia and Darius. This is an interesting composition because like there are opportunities for picking people out with the Veigar or Vigar. People pronounce it both ways. I think LCS says Vigar. I'll have to say Vigar. Vigar can be a little squishy, but he's another one of those where if you get him going, he gets extremely powerful.
Okay.
Because like his abilities, like if his spells hit champions, it automatically increases his ability power.
Ooh,
so he just gets stronger just by hitting his opponents. So if you get that going enough, then you're gonna be in a hurting a lot. I remember, I think it was last year. I think it was one of our matches, and Larson went with Vigar mid, and Aaron and I were kind of talking about some things, and all of a sudden we just see Vigar one-shot someone. We're just like, oh, that happened. So like he can get so powerful that like his Q could end up like just, or even just one-shot people. That's how powerful it can get. All right, we have a couple of minutes until the game actually starts. So we'll go ahead and get the starting lineup.
Set that up for you.
Yeah, so it should be the lineup button right there. Yep, there you go. All right, so in the top lane right now, we have MC Cressman, Scott Cressman. In the jungle, we have MC Knox, Lucas Stanford. We have made a couple of adjustments to our positions a little bit. So our standard roster is in the mid lane. MC Brimstone, Ian Darling will be mid. He was our AD carry, and we put him in the mid lane. And our AD carry is going to be MC Larson, Brandon Larson. And then support is MC Cowboy, David Stratton. We've added a new member to the team, so we want to welcome White Moon, or Kevin Zhang. He just transferred here this semester, and he's been a great addition to the team. Now, with that said, with this roster, in case you were looking at Champion Select and you saw that in the order that Tristana was actually mid and Vigar looked like he was at AD carry. So remember, Brimstone is going to be mid lane, and White Moon is going to be subbing in for ADC.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll have to adjust a couple things once we get to the actual game. But Larson is not able to make it today. He has other obligations, so White Moon will be subbing in for the ADC position.
Awesome. Always great to have him there, though.
But all right, while we are waiting, just a couple of things that are coming up, and make sure you guys are aware. So tomorrow will be our first GLEC match with Mountain Union. So that's going to start at 4 o'clock, and that will be in Rocket League, League of Legends, and Overwatch. So it's going to be a great afternoon with all sorts of games. So please be sure to join us there. It's going to be very exciting to get back into the conference season. We do have some other things. There is one thing I really want to announce, but I can't do it just yet. So I'm going to leave it as a teaser to have a super special, awesome announcement. And so if you want to find out what that is, you're going to have to come back tomorrow to hear what that announcement is.
Man, you got to tease them a bit.
Oh, yeah, I have to tease them a little bit. And then we'll also mention, not really esports related, But just so everyone is aware that February 14th is Marietta College's Day of Giving. So this is a time where we really are trying to reach out to people to help with making contributions and gifts to the college for all variety of programs. Your donations, your contributions are used to help our students. It helps with our athletics, our facilities. It helps with academic programs, scholarships. So please be sure to join us. I will be planning to make a contribution towards that. But that is on February 14th. Yes, that is Valentine's Day. Because the reason why is because that is actually when the college was founded. Okay. The official birth date of Marietta College is Valentine's Day, 1835.
That was actually something I didn't know.
So there, you learn something new every day.
Of course.
So please be sure to help us out with that. The gifts that we've received for collegiate for our sport has been widespread, and we thank everyone for that. So please be sure to help with that. All right, so we are getting in the loading screen. I'll go ahead and let you do this.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to hit overlays. So trying to train Dylan a little bit here about how to use our streaming stuff.
So
you can hit that. Don't hit anything just yet. So once we get
side we are.
Yeah, so we're in the loading screen. So once we get that everything set up, and then we'll hit the appropriate button.
Red side. So
yeah, so
right
we'll get this set up first. We're gonna get this up. Take care of that, and I'm gonna take care of this right here. All right. So now you can hit that button right there.
Okay, cool.
All right. It's gonna take a second here to load. We should have done that first. That's okay. All right, and then I'm gonna do one more thing. Let's do that. All right, here we go. So this is game one, Marietta College versus Milwaukee School of Engineering. As I said, Marietta is going to be on the red side. Milwaukee will be on the blue side. All right, so we'll see if anything goes on here at the beginning, whether it's a standard 5 points or if there are any invades. Doesn't look like anything's going to happen. Maybe some pings are going out, but I think they're just going to try to watch for any potential invades.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of holding the line, so...
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, for the first game, I'd be surprised to see any shenanigans, but you never know.
You never know, right? So this is for the Collegiate League of Legends tournament, correct? Right? Yep. So this should be a good match nonetheless. Play against some schools that we've never really seen out here. See some new strategies and stuff develop, and should be a good match, good game overall. So
what makes it really interesting is that right now in esports in general, there is no notion of a division. So you could play against anyone.
Right.
You could play. We're a D3 school. We could play against D3 schools. Fortunately, like most of the schools in our conference or the GLEC are D3 schools, but in CLOL, you could play D3, you could play D1, you can play NAIA schools, you can play community colleges.
Right.
We played quite a few of those actually last year when we participated in College League Legends or CLOL. I'm probably just going to use CLOL for shorthand. Alright, we're not seeing, of course, since it's very early in the game, we're not going to see anything major just yet, but, oh wait, hold on. I was completely mistaken here. I thought they were going to have Brimstone be mid with the Vigar and have White Moon be the AD carry, but actually, their first blood does go to Milwaukee, but as I was about to say, so they decided to actually put Vigar in the bot lane and put Tristan in the mid. Now, I have seen Tristana be in mid, so that's not unheard of. It's a little different. But the Vigar in the bot lane is interesting. I mean, there are 2 champions instead of 1, so if he can get his Qs out, then that will allow him to get more AP, so that might be part of the strategy, but that's going to be very interesting to see what happens there.
around, nothing crazy.
We see like a little bit of interaction going in the top lane with the Zach was spotted out a little bit, but he's just kind of getting these golems. So I don't think we're gonna see a gank attempt in the top lane just yet. Although we do see Vi coming down in the mid lane, but if Tristan's not pushed up, it's just gonna kind of walk by and nothing going on there. Alright, looks like we see Vi going for a little bit of an invade. They probably knew that Zach was up top. So we're actually going to see Vi taking a little bit of Nox's jungle. He's trying to deny a little CS, and Cressman had to burn his flash to get away from Darius.
Yeah, he's getting pretty low there, so that's good use.
And that's going to open him up for potential ganks later on because his teleport is down, his flash is now down. So Vi could try to do something up there, but Darius has been pushing pretty hard. So right now, Milwaukee kind of has the upper hand in the early game, already about 1,000 gold ahead, less than 5 minutes into the game. And most of that, well, the big difference there is just the difference in CS in the top lane and the first blood kill in Senna. So actually, that's not too bad. Early game, I think you would expect Darius to get ahead of Shen because Shen doesn't really do a whole lot of damage early on.
Yeah. And
especially since he's a tank versus Darius, which can do more damage. But I think as the game progresses, well, we'll see how it goes. It depends on if Darius gets some kills or not. Because if he does, then he can be a powerhouse. So Maria's got to be very careful to make sure that Darius does not get it too far ahead. Actually, mid and bot lane are doing pretty well. Despite that first blood kill, they're pretty even in CS for the most part. Yeah, they're actually, both lanes are doing pretty well of pushing into the lane and getting a chance to go reset while they're waiting for the other waves to come back. See a little bit of exchange going on here in the top lane. Actually, both are about half health, and actually Cressman is now less than half health. And Darius does get a solo kill on Cressman.
Looks like maybe Cressman just got a little too aggressive there at one point. Maybe like he didn't know shouldn't have or something, but
yeah, I don't know if he's respecting the fact that Darius is ahead by over 20 CS now. And I mean, around that point, I can't remember the exact gold numbers, and I'm sure someone's going to correct me, but when you're at about like 20 to 30 CS ahead, that's pretty much the equivalent of a kill.
Right.
So he's pretty much now 2-0-0 with that CS lead. And we see Milwaukee collapsing onto Zach, and they get the hook onto him. So he flashed away, but he's going to end up kind of dissipating. And I think they are going to end up killing him, so Zach does go down. And that's going to be a free dragon for Milwaukee.
Take that just right here.
Yeah, Milwaukee just did a pretty good job of spotting out the Zach and just collapsing him real quickly before Mary had a chance to respond. So first, Drake will go to Milwaukee, which is an Ocean Drake, which is... There we see Darius trying to get the kill. He is level 6, so his ult is in place, and I don't know if you're familiar with Darius's ult, but it can be pretty nasty if you're not careful.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
I don't remember the technical term, but we basically call it a slam dunk. We maybe see actually a fight here in top lane because Tristan has come up and Cassiopeia uses the ult, but Tristana was able to get away from that, so really good job there by White Moon.
They might be making a push for the tower.
Yeah, they are going to be pushing pretty hard, but Zach is nowhere in position to help with it, but they'll get the wave cleared. But yeah, so Darius's ult is what we call a slam dunk. So basically, he takes his axe and just does massive damage. So we see a little bit of a skirmish going on in the bot lane, but nothing too much. But the thing with Darius, which makes him scary, is if his ult actually kills a champion, it resets.
Oh geez, so it's like you keep going.
I have seen Darius be able to basically 1v5 a whole team because he would ult, get a kill, it refreshes, gets another kill. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and we see the Blitzcrank there did accept the kill onto Nautilus, so that is another kill. Well, actually, Blitzcrank did get the kill, but right now 9.5 minutes in, and Milwaukee's ahead by over about 3.5k gold. So right now, with Marietta being this far behind early on, they're going to have to work on getting their CS up. They're going to have to look for the right opportunities for picks. But these kind of goal leads, 1v1ing someone is probably not advisable.
Yeah. Gonna have to be careful not to maybe get some picks, but not be too aggressive at this point.
You'd have to 2v1. You'd have to catch someone and try to get some kills that way. And we do see some contention going on here for the Rift Herald, and Zach jumps in, but most of Marietta's not there to help. And you see, okay, well, you see Marietta starting to collapse a little bit, but the Senate ult actually finishes off Zach. And that's gonna be, there was the Darius ult there, so that's 4 kills. Actually, an ace all over the map.
Wow.
Yeah, it just wasn't very coordinated. Like, Zach jumps in, but like the others
wasn't ready for it.
Right, the rest were trying to come in, but it was just maybe a little too early, or the rest of the team was a little too late, but they just were not on the same page with exactly when to engage on that, and they get heavily punished for it. And of course, Senna's ult is also very OP right now because she was actually down in the bot lane, and her ult will actually hit across the map. You just basically line a fire.
It's a giant laser.
Yeah, basically, it's a giant laser. Now, the outer parts is kind of like a heal for the allies and gives a buff, but the inner part does damage. And then we see Blitz getting another kill onto Nautilus. Now, so Marietta does get the shutdown, so that's how you start getting back. You're gonna have to get the shutdowns because everyone else does have a bounty right now, at least a 200 gold bounty. So if Marietta can get those other shutdown gold, then that is how they're gonna have to get back into the game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they don't want to force fights because they're still very behind. So they can't force a fight. They just have to look for those moments, just like that they saw there.
Yeah, it looks like about 7,000 gold behind too.
We see Zach trying to get the ult and try to get some damage on Cassiopeia, but Tristana is very low and has to back away. So they're not going to be able to continue this fight.
Zach is taken out here.
Team double kill.
So that should be another Drake for Milwaukee.
That was the blue dragon, right?
The first one was this is what's called an ocean drake.
Ocean drake.
So what that does is when you're not in combat, it increases your health and mana regen.
Okay.
So it's really good for poking. So like when you're poking towers or you're poking champion, you just back off a little bit, get out of combat, and then you just kind of regen back up. Cloud Drake is a movement speed buff. It's not the best buff. actually evolving, it's kind of the worst. But there are times where having that extra movement speed is useful for engaging or disengaging or chasing down players. So it's better than nothing, but it's not the ideal trait. We see the Milwaukee drop the Rift Herald in the bottom lane, and they're able to get a tower for that. And there is contention going on with the blue buff, and Zach tries to go for the engage. But doesn't get too much. Blitzcrank goes for the hook and nothing connects. And we see the hook coming in for Nautilus. And then the Senate all comes out. So right now, Marietta is just kind of standing there, not really attacking anyone. And meanwhile, Tristana already goes down. And we do see the shutdown with Vygar, but he does end up going down to Senna. But it's going to be a 5-for-1 in favor of Milwaukee.
So Marietta here is down about 11,000.
Yeah, it's not looking good. When you're down that much at 15 minutes in the game, it is really difficult to come back from this. It's not impossible. It's not unheard of, but it's going to be very difficult. One of the things about League is it's a very snowball type game. So when someone gets the lead and they keep growing that lead, and they just kind of exponentially get further and further ahead.
Right.
So the next Rift Herald will be coming back up in about 30 seconds, so I would expect Milwaukee to play around that. That is one of the changes from last season, is now the Rift Herald can spawn twice before Baron.
Okay. And Baron spawns in 4 minutes?
Yeah, he spawns at the 20-minute mark.
Okay.
Yeah, so we see Nautilus trying to clear a little bit of vision, but they're already going to position because it's going to be up in 10 seconds. So we see Vi and Blitzcrank already there. And actually, most of Milwaukee's already pinging it. Now I would expect him to try to push up through mid. And meanwhile, we have Darius in the bot lane. He's just kind of split pushing right now, but he has his teleport, so if there is a team fight, he can teleport in whenever needed. And we see that Nautilus got hooked by Blitzcrank, and oh, that's the dangers with Blitzcrank. If you get hooked like that, you're dead.
Marietta's definitely going to have to make a big stop here because they're getting very aggressive.
Yeah, that's going to be a little difficult to do. So Zach is going to go in and try to get something, but Cassiopeia pops the ult to stun the rest, and two's already down for Marietta. And Zach's going to end up going down as well. The Crestman's going to try to do something. But 4 already down for Marietta, and Crestman's the only one left, and that is an ace. So that is going to be an inhibitor, and it may even be more. Let's see if they try to end it, and they are going to at least try to push the Nexus towers.
Now they're going to have to wait for Marietta to finish spawning. They're going to have to make a big stop here.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something right now, but I mean, that Blitzcrank hook already got Vygar, so not much they can try to do. They're trying to go engage as much as they can to put a stop, but that Nexus is extremely low. And that will be game 1, and Milwaukee takes it in less than 18 and a half minutes. But, all right, so give us a second here. We'll go ahead and get game 2 set up. So let's see if we can get that going here. It's probably going to be the same code. Okay, it's going to be a different code. All right, so as soon as we get the next code, we'll get the game 2 underway. Or I'll just get invited to a custom. That works too.
Yeah.
All right, so I think they'll be starting game 2 very soon. So actually, I'm going to go and get things just about set up. So Marietta will be on the blue side this time. So yeah, I think a lot of it was just execution. I mean, Milwaukee was definitely very trying to think of the right term, but they were definitely on the same page. And it felt like that whenever Marietta tried to engage or do something, they weren't on that same page.
Yeah, they just seem like they have a little bit more teamwork there.
All right, we're still getting things with the lobby set up.
So what do you think Milwaukee and Marietta are going to do for champion picks next game? Do you think anything different's going to come out? Maybe obviously for Marietta.
The Blitzcrank definitely did set up a lot of the kills. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a ban on Blitzcrank.
Yeah.
Especially with the Blitzcrank skin. The thing about that one is that the way his hook is, usually with a Blitzcrank hook, there's a cord that's attached to the arm to do the hook. But with Blitzcrank, it's wireless.
Okay.
So it's more difficult to actually see the hook. In fact, in some tournaments, not this one,
but
that particular skin,
visual.
Yeah, that skin is usually banned. And I don't believe it's banned in League of Legends, or at least in this tournament. But I would expect a Blitzcrank ban. Senna could be a possible ban because she can be pretty good in ADC, although I don't think that was the main issue. But then again, I'm just a person here that's kind of shoutcasting. Yeah. I'm the filthy casual gamer in League of Legends. I'm the guy that you do not want to queue up with, not against.
Against, it's an easy win.
No, right? Exactly. You want me to be the guy that queue up against,
right?
But not with. But my opinion, I think that Blitzcrank should be taken out.
Yeah, he definitely did. He got some good picks there, and it looked like that was a good round for him.
But on the other side of the coin, I mean, a lot of that as well is the disrespect and the positioning. Like being aware that there's a Blitzcrank, you have to respect the Blitzcrank and make sure that you don't put yourself in a position where you can get picked like that. And I don't think that happened either. I don't think there was a lot of awareness in the positioning. So I think if it can clean up those things, cleaning up the engagement, make sure everyone's on the same page when there's an engagement, and being mindful of the positioning, then I think this game can end up being different. All right, we're checking the lobby, and they're saying that they are ready whenever we are. So we'll probably be starting up soon. So as soon as that starts up, will you do?
Oh yeah, I got you, Blue Champ.
Yep. All right, so we are in Champion Select for Game 2. So we see the Olaf being banned. Olaf is one that you would want to ban. He is one of those where if you get him going in the jungle, he will basically 1v9.
Just unstoppable.
His ult is basically where he's unstoppable, where he's like health regen, attack speed, and he can just basically mow down a team if he gets too far ahead.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's a very good ban. The Diana is also pretty strong. Okay, so they are banning the Senna. So yeah, because
she's not a bad ban at all.
No, not at all. Especially they did put. I think it was Pancakes is the ADC for Milwaukee. He played the center very well.
Who dares defy my will?
We'll see what the third ban is. Of course, Jarvan's ban again is a very popular jungle champion right now. They're going to keep with the Echo, so I guess they're not as concerned with the Blitzcrank. It is one of those where if you, as I said, if you can be mindful of the positioning, you should be able to handle it.
And they might see a workaround to counter it too.
Possibly. They're actually, so Milwaukee's banning a Nautilus, so that's interesting because I know Nautilus was kind of targeted a lot, but I guess they still didn't like him. The Echo ban is a good pick because Echo's another one of those that could be very strong jungle champions. And he can also be pretty good at mid, but kind of like Olaf, if you get Echo going, he's very difficult to kill. He's not, he won't necessarily like mow you down like Olaf, but he can be more elusive. And so Mary decides to first pick Rakan. It is one of Cowboys' favorite champions. And he's also pretty good engaged. And we see Milwaukee going with the Xayah. And I think they forced them to pick the Xayah. Because I don't know if you're familiar with the champions, but Xayah, Rakan have like little perks if they're paired together. So usually you want to try to put them together. Now, Rakan's, both of them are still good separately, but you get little bonuses if you have them together. So I think that forced them to pick the Xayah so that Marietta would not get the Xayah. And we see the Bard, so we may be going for a magical journey. Bard's a pretty decent support champion right now, but his thing, he's a roaming type support. So you probably see him go around the map a bit more. And then he has ways to kind of like cut through terrain because he has like kind of like portals that kind of let you go through.
So he's like a big movement character, you know?
Yes, a very big movement character. You see Marietta's going with the Jinx. Good matchup against Xayah. Another hyper carry. And it looks like Nas is going to go with the Lease. She's actually picked up some popularity this season. And we see the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser is very strong right now. So that is going to be a challenge for Chris in the top lane. I think he has some answers to it, but Mordekaiser is still good. Fiora is one of the answers to Mordekaiser.
And they just banned her.
Yes, exactly. So right now, so Milwaukee still needs to pick their jungle and mid. And we already have 3 jungle bans, so they're only going to target mid a little bit. So get rid of the Malzahar. And Marietta still needs to do top and mid.
I do not tolerate cowardice.
So
That is interesting that they banned Darius, because Cressman doesn't really play Darius, but I think they did it because they didn't want the Darius to go up against Mordekaiser.
yeah.
And they decided to take out the Cassiopeia. Pretty good pick. She was pretty strong last game.
We'll see what they pick for the last 2 champions here.
Yeah, so go with the Rek'Sai. Decent jungler. Can also kind of go around a lot. So very movement heavy comp so far with the Bard and the Rek'Sai. So now Mario's going to make their last 2 picks. So they still got to do their top and mid. So they're gonna go with Fizz. Oh, Fizz. Fizz is a good like assassin mid champion. It's one of those that's very annoying to play against. So I like that pick.
Yeah, we'll see if he pulls it off, right?
And we see the Gnar, which is a safe pick up top. Gnar's like a good anti-tank type champion. So it should be a good matchup into the Mordekaiser. And looks like they're gonna go with the Kassadin to go up against the Fizz. So And it's going to be interesting because, yeah, Fizz can be very elusive at times. So he has some abilities where it makes him untargetable for a second.
Okay.
So he's very annoying to play against. So they're countering that with another very mobile type champion. So, yeah, this would be interesting with a very mobile type comp that Milwaukee's going with. Whereas with Marietta, they have some good engage in CC because Rakan can do an engage and do like a little small knockup.
Right.
Nar's ult will actually allow him to like do this big shove, and if they hit a wall, they get stunned.
Okay.
At least her Q actually, well, whenever in human form at least, can actually put a little web out, and if it hits someone, they get stunned. And then Jinx has some bombs that they're kind of like grenade type things where if you step on it, you get stunned. So most of the champions that Marietta have some form of either stun or knock up. So they have some good CC. The challenge though is going to be making sure that they're on the same page with the engages.
Definitely.
If they can do that, then I think we can get into a game 3.
Yeah, if they work together, I think we're golden.
All right, so we're still waiting on spectator delay. So while we're waiting, I'll go ahead and pull up I think I have to do it over here. Just so everyone's aware of our schedule for this semester, at least our conference schedule. So we want to get this out, and we do have this out on our Facebook and Twitter. So if you're not following us on Facebook or Twitter yet, please be sure to do so. So you can go to on Twitter at Marietta Esports. On Facebook, you can go to facebook.com/Marietta College Esports. But basically every weekend between now and about mid-March, we'll be playing another school in the GLEC. And this does not include any additional matches we have, like the CLOL matches that we would have on Saturday afternoons. We are looking into participating in the TESPA Collegiate tournament, so that'll be coming up pretty soon. So that reminds me, I talked to the team today for practice to get them to sign up for that.
Yeah. What game is that for?
For Overwatch.
Okay.
And then our Fortnite team, we're not doing the Fortnite exhibitions with the conference this semester. We are planning to participate in the NACE tournament for Fortnite. And of course, we don't know anything yet about a collegiate R6.
Right.
We're still waiting for that.
Yeah, I don't
So hopefully that'll be coming up soon. And then our PUBG team has been working some stuff. I don't have any dates yet, so once we know when they're competing, we'll get that out to you. But I also do have some one announcement I should go and talk about now. So we are looking into forming additional teams. So there has been some interest in Call of Duty and Super Smash Brothers. So as of right now, we don't have official teams in those yet, but we are exploring forming those teams.
And there's a good amount of interest in it. So.
Oh, yes. So we are hoping that by this fall that we'll have complete teams for Call of Duty and Super Smash Brothers. The only hiccup is in the collegiate scene. Call of Duty is
console.
It's PS4 exclusive, not just console exclusive.
Just PS4.
Just PS4.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So we're probably going to have to work on how we can get a hold of some PS4s. So if anyone wants to help with financially supporting us so we can put together a Call of Duty team, great segue, right?
Of course.
Please be sure to subscribe to our Twitch channel. So you get all sorts of perks with this. You get access to all of our emotes. You'll have immediate access to all of our VODs immediately after the broadcast. And just to be able to show your support to help with growing our program. Your generosity has already helped us out. We've been able to get new furniture to support our console gaming. We have a Nintendo Switch.
And I could confirm there, it's very comfortable.
And we're looking into adding more things to the program, so your support is much appreciated. Now, if you're not able to donate, that's perfectly fine. As I'm trying to get the game set up because we are getting to the game. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so overlay, right?
Yep, overlay. All. And we're on the blue side.
So
yeah, so that one right there.
there we go.
All right, yeah, just gotta get let load, but yeah, I gotta remember to do that. Okay, so we're starting up game 2.
Summoners
But yeah, and if you're not able to donate, just be sure to spread the word so other people can follow us and they may be able to help us out. But we will be broadcasting all of our matches on, well, we are broadcasting right now, and we do see an evade going on here. But, well, they were going to try the pickoff song, but it doesn't look like they're going to get anyone. But we will upload all of our matches onto our YouTube channel, bit.ly/Marietta College Esports, 1 week after the broadcast. So this broadcast right here, you would have to wait a week in order to see it on our YouTube channel. But if you can't wait, you can always subscribe.
You can watch it right then.
Yeah.
Minions have spawned.
All right, so we are underway. Minions are spawning, so we are now starting up game 2. So we have to see if Marietta can make any adjustments in their gameplay, and hopefully we can get to a game 3.
So other than more cooperation and teamwork, what do you think Marietta's to do to take game 2 here?
Well, I think mainly positioning, making sure that you're respecting where your opponent is. It's not as much of an issue in this game because there are no hooks from Blitzcrank.
Right.
Even Darius kind of had like a small hook as well. So you don't have to worry about that. But Mordekaiser can still hit pretty hard. Kassadin can definitely be more mobile. I think the X factor here is going to be the Bard, because their support set up a lot of kills last game, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Bard really tried to set up a kills for this game. So I think he's going to be the big factor here. And plus there's a Mordekaiser. So that you always have to be mindful of. In fact, we already see Bard just kind of harassing onto Jinx, and he's already under half health. So Bard is one of those where it's like he doesn't do insane damage, but it's enough to kind of poke you down.
Yeah. Nothing too crazy going on, no shenanigans, just kind of a little poking around it seems.
It's still very early in the game. I mean, all the lanes are trying to farm their CS, junglers are trying to get their routes and get some levels before they would start any gank attempts. So right now, just let everyone, the junglers are level 3, so they have all their abilities, so we may, they probably won't see anything just yet. And bot lane here is kind of pushing a little bit, so I don't think we would see a gank attempt down there. Crespin's doing a pretty good job keeping his lane pushing. And it looks like White Moon is pushing up pretty well, so he's got to be careful though, because he could be vulnerable to gank attempts if he pushes too far. In fact, right now he doesn't really have any vision around him. He hasn't used his ward yet. So he does have to be very careful. I mean, Marietta does have vision in the top pixel bush, or brush. I think they call it pixel brush. But that and the Raptors, actually they do got vision over by the Raptors, so they do see where the Rek'Sai is right now. So that gives them some information of where he's at. Although now he's clearing it, but they do know that he's around that area. You see the ping there in the mini-map.
So definitely have to watch out for that.
Yeah, vision is a big deal. And we see Jinx getting very low and having to burn a flash.
Yeah.
Actually, I forgot about the chat here. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, I think I clicked the wrong thing. Oops, I meant to do the objective timers. That way you can see when those are up. But yeah, in the early game, vision is important, because if you know where your jungler, where the opposing jungler is, then you know which lanes you can safely push and which ones you can't.
Right.
So like right now, they knew that the Rek'Sai was in the top jungle, so that let bot lane know that okay, we can push in a little bit more because we're not going to get ganked anytime soon. Whereas Cressman would have to go, all right, I have to watch it. Rek'Sai's right there. If I go in too far, he can just come around and just take me out.
Right.
So yeah, getting vision on junglers are very important in the early game.
Cressman trying to escape here.
Yeah.
He is able to get out of there.
But yeah, that's the power of the Mordekaiser. The fact that he does AoE damage and his big club hits really, really hard.
Yeah.
So that's going to force Cressman to back, and he's probably going to have to burn his teleport to get back in. We do see Nox kind of going in a little bit, and the pings are coming out. So you see, yeah, it looks like Casino's starting to go in, Barlow's starting to go in, but Nox steps out, so that could have been a pounce, but a good move to know to back away. So right now the big difference that I'm seeing is really in the bot lane. So Milwaukee's really been pushing that bot lane hard, and Jinx is a little bit behind on CS. The other lanes are doing pretty well, but hopefully Brimstone's going to get a chance to try to get his CS back up. They do have some good vision, so that does help them. So they shouldn't be as vulnerable to ganks, but
and they're pretty close in gold. There's no damage there.
And we do see the gank attempt by Nox onto the Bard. And he's already us in half health. He's going to use the Magical Journey, but the thing with the Magical Journey is you can go through it as well. And they force the flash, and they do get the first blood.
Ooh. Good pick from Marietta there. Bard just could not get away from that.
Yeah, that's what makes it at least really nice, is the fact that she can get the web out to kind of stun, and Rakan would follow through to be able to help with kind of engaging in and knocking him up. And you saw that little portal I was talking about. So not only can Bard go through it, anyone else can go through it as well while it's up.
So they took downfalls, they came right through behind him.
Well, it's really good when you have like the team together and you use it to try to get through a certain spot. So there's some really cool Bard moves that you can use with that Magical Journey. But just good first blood there by Marietta. That gives him a chance to get back into it a little bit. And actually, it's a good thing too, because actually, when you look at the jungler, Rek'Sai's been behind a little bit, so that extra bonus gold will help Nox kind of catch back up. But if we look at the gold difference, by the way, X is what you see what the gold looks like. So the parentheses is the total gold.
Right.
So Nox is still a little bit behind, but not as much as he would have been if it weren't for the first blood. So that definitely helps him catch up. Alright, so people are starting to hit level 6. So
Alts are coming out.
Alts are coming up, so we're going to start seeing some more gank attempts. Yeah, just go ahead and clear some vision. Or maybe, okay. And we do see some ping, so we might see a possible gank attempt here. And we see Rek'Sai and Fizz coming down, and there goes the Magical Journey. That's going to let Bard get away, but Rek'Sai's going to use it as well to get away, so that's where we see that good use of the portal.
Right.
So Bard was able to get away, and Marietta did not want to go through there, so good call to not try to be tempted to jump through to get a jump in there, because he actually put that
around there.
He put that around the turrets, so if they went through there and tried to fight onto the turret, that would have been really bad.
Yeah.
Alright, so we see some pinks going on, and Marietta's blue jumble comes. It looks like Mordecai was able to get some vision down there, so that's going to help them get an idea of yeah, that's gonna have to get an idea of where Nox is gonna be. And we see the engage going on here, and the teleport's gonna come down. That's gonna force Marietta to fall back because that's a 4-person gank attempt. And that's gonna be 1 kill from Milwaukee, and it might be a second one
from Cowboy.
Yeah, so Rek'Sai was coming down, and Cassidy just teleported in, and that was just a numbers advantage for Milwaukee. Wrong button. I can't do that. Okay, one thing real quick. My Discord was going off earlier. There we go. Yeah, so with those 2 kills, that did allow
Red team take the dragon.
Yeah, allow him to take the dragon. And Cassidy was able to get a 1v1 kill there. Although Maria's going to try to get the retaliatory kill, but looks like Cassidy's going to get away because 2 from Milwaukee were there. So with those kills, that allowed Milwaukee to take a pretty substantial lead. So now it's a 4,000 gold difference in just a span of about a minute or 2.
Plus Milwaukee does have Drake.
And that was a Mountain Drake, so that's going to give them bonus damage on objectives.
Okay.
So they can do more damage to the towers. They can do more damage to things like Dragon, Baron, Rift Herald, those things. So it's a nice one to have, especially when you're focusing on objectives. Alright, so the thing here now is, like, it is a pretty sizable gold difference, and even though there's a 4-kill difference, a lot of the differences is coming into the CS. I mean, we see the bot lane, that CS difference is starting to widen again, because it's almost a 40 gold difference, 40 CS difference, not 40 gold, my apologies. And yeah, that's going to be a little over a kill. In fact, if we take a look at the gold difference here, yeah, so we see it's about a little under 700 gold difference in just the bot lane alone. So I mean, that's about like a basic item, not a full item by any means. A full item is usually anywhere from like 2,400, 3,000 gold.
Yeah.
And we see the Bard going into the bind. There's that magical journey to be able to let Rek'Sai get from behind.
Coming right behind. That was a good use of magical journey.
Yeah.
We're trying to escape, but can't get out of it.
That goes back to what I was saying before. The support is going to try to set up kills, and that's exactly what he's able to do with that magical journey. And there just wasn't much Marietta can do about that.
A lot of damage being done to Marietta's towers here.
Yeah, they got about a little less than half. I don't think they're going to be able to finish it just yet. And it looks like White Moon and Cowboy want to try to get this kill and pass it in, but I don't think it's going to happen. Although Nox is not too far either, but he's just going to be working on his Raptors. Yeah, that's the thing with Mordekaiser. Once he gets strong enough, he can basically just take you down without too much trouble. And Rek'Sai was able to get the Rift Herald during that, so we see the Rift Herald coming out in the mid lane. Right now, it's not looking good for Marietta. About 15.5 minutes in, it's about a 7K goal difference, which is not as bad as the last game. But they are snowballing because Casson is 4-0-1 right now. Rek'Sai is 3-0-3. I mean, there's only been one death for Milwaukee, and that was that first blood early on in the game. All right, and Cowboy got, I mean, that was not necessary in my opinion. There was no vision there.
He just got too aggressive.
Yeah, he wandered around. He wandered too much. That was just not respecting where the enemy is and getting picked off. So Milwaukee will be going for the dragon. This is an Infernal Drake, which this one is the one that you want to get because this increases your attack damage and your ability power.
Oh geez, so that's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. So now they're going to be able to do even more damage. And we see the Gnar ult coming in, and that's going to allow Mordecai to get very low, but he's going to pop his ult to kind of just 1v1 Crestman, and looks like he's going to win that 1v1. So the way Mordecai's ult works is you kind of like take someone into a realm where it's just the two of you. So it's a really great way to peel someone off.
There's no way they can escape.
Well, it's like after so many seconds or whenever someone dies, whichever comes first.
Okay.
Yeah, and we see Nox getting picked off, and that's going to give Milwaukee a chance to push. So they're going to go straight for the mid lane. Milwaukee's going to be putting some pressure on this tower, and looks like it is going to go down. Or maybe not. It's just hang. Oh, there it goes. Yep. I spoke too soon. I thought it was going to hang up by a slither. Just
I know,
a little bit.
Like it too.
Yeah, and we see Nars trying to get some damage on the Mordecai. He is getting pretty low in health and actually has to flash away to avoid getting killed. And then obviously Milwaukee's rotating down to the bot lane and getting the engage onto two of Marietta. And Fizz just barely gets away, but Elise is going to pay for it. And another tower will go down, and it looks like Milwaukee might, well, I thought they were going to try to continue to push, but they are going to back away.
Alright, so just clearing out some vision.
Yeah, that's about all you can do right now, because one of the things that gets really difficult whenever you're behind is if you notice Milwaukee's starting to put vision in their jungle.
Right.
So as you
progress and move forward.
Yeah, as you progress down, you want to keep putting vision in your jungle, and what happens is, I'm trying to think here. As they put vision down there, it makes it more difficult for you to put vision in your own jungle. So you don't even see what's in your jungle. So you can't go in there because you don't know if they're in there. Because if you go in there and they're in there and they pick you off, that could be enough to end the game. So what you want to try to do is, as a group, kind of start pushing back up, reestablish vision, and we see Marietta doing that. So that's really good. We're starting to see more blue wards than red wards in their jungle. So we want to see that. So they are working on trying to clear the enemy vision and reestablish their vision. So that it helps. It's not going to necessarily win the game because vision alone is not enough. I mean, they're still down almost 11,000 gold.
Right.
But that's how you start getting back into it.
Looks Milwaukee is going to take
Yeah, this is the Baron.
Baron.
Yeah, Baron. That's the big one. So it's at about half health. So Marietta may try to contest, but it's going to be a little difficult to do. I don't think they're going to be able to contest, but they're going to try anyway. Or maybe they will be able to contest. They're actually going. Rakan goes in, and they actually sold the Baron.
Wow.
They did it.
That was huge on their part.
Yes. Now they're all gonna die except for Crispin for it, but it does deny them the Baron.
And we did get a shutdown.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was a 1v1, a 1-for-4. But if they had gotten the Baron and got the 1-for-4, that would have been game over.
Yeah, so you see Milwaukee's getting very aggressive now. They did lose that Baron.
Yeah, the only problem is it's just Cressman right now. He's going to try to hold, although everyone from Marietta is trying to come back and get in the gauge.
They might punish them for being too aggressive here.
Well, the Elise goes down, so that's one down for Marietta. But it looks like Milwaukee's going to take the inhibitor and then use the journey to back away. Although it looks like Barry's going to follow and try to get onto Mordekaiser.
Let's try to take him out. A lot of damage is being done to him, but...
Yeah, he's very tanky right now.
He did pop his ult?
Yeah, he did pop the ult, but Cressman lasted long enough to let it expire.
Oh.
A nice shutdown there by the Jinx ult.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Alright, so... We're not out of the woods yet. But you take those picks. You try to...
Right.
When you're behind... Your best strategy is try to get those 1 picks here and there. Don't give away any kills, but see if you can just pick one off, just enough to give them the back away.
Right. It looks like they're trying to close that gold difference too.
Yeah, it's now
around 9.
Yeah, it's a 9,000 gold difference, so they are working their way back. So it could be they're gonna have to take this slow. They're gonna have to look for those opportunities to get the single pick. So great job there. But it's still a long game ahead.
That definitely helps that we got the Baron.
Although I can't remember if Cressman died, so I don't remember if he still has the Baron buff or not. Because when you get the Baron buff, if you die, you lose the buff.
I don't know.
I don't think he did. So with that inhibitor down, Marietta's going to have someone in the mid lane for those super minions. And that does... Yeah, so Cressman still has the Baron buff, although he is... Well, he was going to go after Cassin just a little bit. But as I was saying, that mid lane is going to have some attention at all times. So that's going to limit what Marietta can do roaming around. You do see Crispin having to flash away, but he does go down, so there goes the Baron buff. Although, to be fair, I think it was about to expire anyway.
Yeah.
So we see pressure by Milwaukee on multiple sides here. But it looks like they're going to try to collapse onto Jinx. And actually has to burn the flash to get away from the collapse. So all of the inhibitor towers are gone, and now they're going to be trying to get onto the inhibitors themselves. And they got the journey ready, so as soon as it goes down, they're going to jump right through. There they go. Well, only 2 of them went. And we see the knockup.
Damage is being done to stop them, at least try.
Yeah, the ultra flying left and right, and 3 for Marietta are already down, so right now it's a 3 for 1, and Cressman is getting very low. Actually, there's Rakan, that's an ace, and that is probably going to be it. There goes the second Nexus tower. All that's left is the Nexus. And that will be it. So with that, the game will go to Milwaukee, 2 wins to 0. So it was a little bit of improvement, but I think a lot of it is just that a lot of the players on Milwaukee are very good. Most of them are either high platinum, low diamond. So they are very good players in it itself.
It looked like a good smart use of their abilities as well.
Yeah, their support definitely knows how to set up the kills using the magical journey. And his ult actually does, a couple times you may have seen someone like turn gold and kind of be frozen for a little bit.
Yeah.
That was his ult.
Okay.
All right, so that is going to be it for today. So just a couple of quick announcements and reminders. So tomorrow we will have our match with Mountain Union. So that will be 4 o'clock. We'll be starting with Rocket League, and then we're going to follow by League of Legends, and then we're going to end it with Overwatch. So please be sure to tune in for that. And next week will be our opponent with Trine for the next conference match. We're still working on the exact dates and times for those, so we will get that to you. So please be sure to follow us so that way you know when those matches are. So you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Marietta College Esports. You can follow us on Twitter at Marietta Esports. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, so bit.ly/Marietta College Esports. But all right, so from all of us from here, thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.